give up. So difficult. What we really want to give up? What doesn't make us happy? We want happiness. We want joy. And whatever makes us unhappy, we have to give up. Now, what makes us unhappy, that we don't understand. The problem is there. What really is important for us to make us happy, to make us fulfilled, that we have to understand. When we get something that will make us really and permanently happy, then it is very natural and easy to give up that fleeting happiness. Happy today and happy tomorrow, we will give that. So let me read a passage from Swami Vivekananda first. You come into life to accumulate. With cleansed hands, you want to take, but nature puts a hand on your throat and makes your hands open. Whether you will it or not, you have to give. The moment you say, I will not, the blow comes. You are hurt. None is there, but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything. And the more one struggles against this law, the more miserable one feels. So law is giving. Now what to give up, that is the thing. So, and what to give up is that what makes us miserable. What makes us miserable? What makes miserable is mostly is, Swami Vivekananda to begin is, first we have to give up the weakness. Lack of faith in ourselves. That thing is very dangerous. Swami Vivekananda went to say that weakness is sin. He said, if there is sin, this is the only sin to say that you are weak or others are weak. And he says, anything that makes you weak, physically, intellectually and spiritually, shun that as poison. So physical strength, intellectual and mental strength and spiritual strength can alone give us permanent happiness. Physical, of course, changes it. It is not that endurable. That's it will be changing more quicker than spiritual one. But we need to keep physical strength as long as we can, as much as we can. In the Gita, if you read the first verses of Sri Krishna, that is said to Arjuna, he said, Kshutram hridaya durvalam tyaktva. Give up the weakness of your heart. Klaibhyam masmagama partha. This unmanliness does not behove you, does not fit you, does not suit you. Give up weakness. So weakness has to be given. When we feel that Swami Vivekananda says, perhaps I cannot do that, or he cannot or she cannot do that, she is weak to perform this. When that is gone, then there is misery. There is the beautiful story of 4 candles. There were 4 candles burning. Candle of success, candle of peace, candle of happiness, and candle of hope. And suddenly, wind came, a blow came, and one candle blew out, was blown away. It is candle of success gone. Another blow of wind, another candle goes. It blows out. The 3rd candle goes away with the 3rd blow of the wind. 4th candle was still on. Then the nature becomes a little better. One boy was going, he found of the 4 candles, 3 are already out. The boy comes and burns with the help of the 4th candle all other 3. The 4th candle that was burning was the candle of hope, candle of faith. The 4th candle could lit up the candle of success, peace and happiness. That faith in our own self, faith in us as having the immensity of power should never be given up. If that is gone, we are weak. So, give up weakness is the first thing to be given up. That I am unable to do this. I am not fit to do this. Anything workable, anything worth working, we should have that much faith as the child of God, as the repository of all qualities and strength. I can do this. That faith should be there. The greater thing to be given up is, in Gita it is said, 3 things you should give up. What are the 3 things? Kama, Krodha and Lobha. These are the things that make us miserable. One is Kama, desire, Lobha, greed, and Krodha, anger. These 3 things are often very closely associated with us. And we are unable to give, and as a result of whenever they are manifested, they overpower us, we feel miserable. For example, the desire. So there are many desires. There are some desires which may retain, like the desire to do good to the world, desire to help others. But which desires to be given up then? Desires which are selfish, which tend to be self-centered, which is meant only to make me somehow accumulate the things. That desire should be given up. So, Sri Krishna said in the Gita that these 3 are in fact not only means to unhappiness, they are the means to greatest unhappiness, greatest misery, and he compares to that misery to the hell. Says these 3 are the gates of hell. So these desire, anger and greed, kama, krodha, tatha lobhas, tasmat etat trayam tyajet. So these desires have to be given up. Now it is said, all desires, as I said, need not to be given up. Only those desires which are self-centered be given up. In the Gita itself says, should be desire prompts us to action, work. Should we give up all work? Then how the work will run? And Sri Krishna says, a person cannot live without work. The life is not possible without her. Even a moment one cannot remain without working. If he doesn't work externally, he is working internally. His mind is working, his body parts are working, his heart is working, her lungs are working. So always we work. It is said that, somebody said, one should give up, completely relinquish, give up the work and just live for devotion to God and for love of God. Give up everything, all relation, everything, and just live for God. And Sri Krishna says, there are others who say, yajna, dana, tapa, karma, na tyajyam. But actions like yajna, dana and karma, yajna, dana and tapa should not be given up. So yajna should be always performed, dana should be performed, and tapa should be performed. So what is yajna? Yajna is work, unselfish work. Anything that we do for others is yajna. You want to lessen others' problem? However, by advice, by counseling, by help, by visiting, by calling, that becomes yajna. Whatever you do for the good of others is yajna. So that action should be always be done. That should not be given up. Trying to do good to the world should be always done. So what is selfish action? Give that. Then dana. Something you give in help. Dana mostly comes as the financial help. That we should always do. Or offering things to God. That we should go on doing. That should not be given up. And tapa, the austerity. the goodness that you do, that should be there. Tapa has different meanings in the Gita itself. They say there's the bodily tapa, there is the mental tapa, and there is intellectual tapa, tapa of speech. Body, mind and speech, they have different kinds of concept of tapas. Those all to be contained. The good words, nice words, those should be spoken, those should be given, what the Gita says. And body serving for people, that should be done, that should not be given up. So what is to be given up is the selfish desires. Why this should be kept? Yajna, dana and tapa. Why this should be done? Because they are pavanani. They are purifying. Our goal in life, the spiritual goal in life is to purify our heart. If our heart is purified, we gain everything. Our mind becomes sattvika. When our minds become sattvika, serene, calm, composed, peaceful, then we work for others. We look for the good of others. We find joy in the joy of others. When our mind is tamasika, then we want our own joy and happiness in lethargy, in self-centeredness. When we have rajasika nature, we try to achieve name and fame and ambition and goals in life and accumulation in life, then we feel we'll have joy. And ultimately, this tamasika and rajasika, both types of mind, suffer. They don't really get permanent joy. The sattvika nature of mind leads to happiness and leads to spiritual illumination. And there is joy. Permanent joy is only in spiritual illumination, and that can come, the sattvika nature can come through purifying our heart. And our heart will be purified if we do work in the spirit of yajna, in the spirit of service. That's why yajna, dana and tapa should not be given up. Then Sri Krishna said, give up the fruits of action. What to give up? Give up the fruits of action. Giving up action is not good. Give up the fruit of action. And it is said, yastu karma phala tyagi satyagitya vidiyate. Who gives up fruit of action, that alone is the tyagi. That one has really given up. It will be called the giver, renouncer. That is the concept. Who gives up the fruits of action. Desires for the fruits of action. So every work, action has some motive. So fruit of action is also, you can say, the motive. That if we work without motive, then how will we be able to work? Even a small, significant thing will have some motive to do. The motive should be doing good to the world. Motive should be, there should be motive. But motive will be to have devotion to God, to generate peace in the world. That type of motive should be to serve others. When that is done, that is the relinquishing the fruits of action. The fruits of action that is for you, you don't want name and fame. You don't want monetary gain by your action. You don't want anything extra for your action, raising your name in the TV. But you want the thing is to be done properly, and people who are served to be my work, they are properly served. If we work in that way, it is relinquishing fruits of action. We need not be selfish in the motive of our action. The motive should be unselfish motive for our action. That's why it is said, give up the selfish action. Because without work, no one can live. Now how can then the feeling comes that work without the feeling of doership? Tremendously go on working. But don't think that you are doing. Why? I do everything, then how can I think I am not doing? From the highest standpoint, we are not the doer. Who does? God does. Tomar karma, tumi karma, loke bole kari ami. In a Bengali song it is said, Mother, you work your own work. But the people, under the delusion of your maya, your effect, they think that they are doing. So to remind ourselves, it is God, our Divine Mother, who does everything in the world, through me or through other. Everything includes everything. That somebody does bad to me, that is also done by you. We have to think that way. Then you will not react to the person. Whatever it comes to me is done by yourself. Whatever good I have done to you, to others, it is done by you. Nimitta matram bhava sabya sachin. Just be an agent. Don't think that you are doing. Nimitta matram bhava means nimitta matram. Think that you are nimitta. It is all our thinking. So, the thing is, as it is said, feel that it is God making you do. Swami Vivekananda, after doing so much of work in 10 years of his life, what he says ultimately? He said, whatever good has been done through me is done by Sri Ramakrishna. And it's so genuine, it's not humility, showing humility, it's just a real humility. Whatever good has been done, it is done by Sri Ramakrishna through me. If he wills, he can produce thousands of Vivekananda in one moment. And whatever bad has been done, it is done by me. We need to be careful about not doing wrong. If we consider anything is done by me, is done by God, then we'll come to the feeling that like the killer of a cow. Then we'll say, bad is done by God and good is done by me. That is the problem. We often think that way. Whatever bad has been done, it is God. Swami said, whatever work is done, mother, it is you who have done. So, I have not done it, God has done. But when something good is done, oh, you cooked so nice today food. When we say, yes, I could. Some of the recipe I got from there. Then I put every moment and I was studying so much and I took so much care. That's why it became good. Has it become good like that? When I say some person that, oh, your child is so good, so well behaved, very nice. Swamiji, you know how much we have to take care behind the child. Every moment we are there to train them. That I am there to make the child good. My son good. Even praising the son is so good, no? But still, when I am not there, it's not fulfilling. So this I is a dangerous thing. It fulfills a little. But if we forget that it's God who makes me do, who makes me care, who makes me take care of the child, actually the love that comes through any human being, all love is with God. We are just the channel that the love flows to us. Any good work that is done by God through us, just He or she or Divine Mother, whoever is God, He has chosen us to do something good. And I am so grateful to Lord that I am chosen to do something nice. Nothing is mine. All ideas were given by Him, all skill were given by Him. This body is His gift, this mind is His gift. So where am I to do work? Like that, all work is done by Mother, I am not the doer. Then we become the agent. We don't have the feeling of doership. The ego doesn't come. Then it's the better work done. Another way to see that I am not the doer is, as in the Gita it is said, it is the Prakriti, nature, that does everything. I am the witness. I am not the doer of anything. I am the self. I am the consciousness. I am the light. I am Atma. Atma doesn't work. Atma just stays and it gives energy, it gives power, it gives consciousness to the body and mind. Just it is there. What work is this body and mind which is not I? This hand works, this mind thinks, the intellect brings out something, but I am not the doer because they are not my thing. They are the part of the nature. All this universe, creation, they are the part of the creation. I am the soul, I am the spirit, I am Atma, not doing anything. So it is for the Jnanis, it's a little difficult path. When we have this idea, I am not the doer, then a lot of things are given up. The ego, that I am the doer, that needs to be given up. Aham karta, I am the doer. Give up that idea. If we could give up that idea, then we'll be really happy. That's what the scripture will say. Try to give up the feeling that you are the doer. So selfishness causes the miseries, and unselfishness is the thing which we need to achieve. Thinking for others, putting others first, putting yourself behind. That is the thing only which makes us perfect and happy in this permanent happiness. Swami Vivekananda would say so much. He would compare the selfishness to the worldliness and unselfishness to God. Whenever there is unselfishness manifested through us, whenever we do something not thinking for ourselves, then it is godly action. God is manifesting. That's what we find in the sages and the prophets and the avatars. That they are all doing for others. Nothing in them. So much unselfish. No thought for themselves. Sri Ramakrishna, when he was sick, cancer, painful, no morphine that time. Painful. But whenever came to him, as Swami Vivekananda said, he would just talk. Doctor said, you should not talk with anyone. And he slowly said, you can talk only with me. He loves Sri Ramakrishna so much. He said, you have to keep quiet. The wound is aggravating. But when I come, you can talk with me. But Sri Ramakrishna didn't listen. He listened to him half, he talked with him, and he also talked with anyone that came for his advice, for his suggestion, for his company. He went on talking. How much giving, how much unselfish. Never thought that the wound will aggravate and I will die. No such thought at all. People said, why don't you pray to Divine Mother to cure yourself? He said, what? To think of this flesh and the cage of flesh and bones? The mind which is thinking of God should think of this body? There with that thing. I am the child of Mother, the Divine Spirit. I am the Atma. This body is just the decaying material, a bag of filth. Why to put this thing in something like this, decaying, bad, this thing filled with filth, instead of thinking of Mother, thinking of divine, thinking of blissful nature? I can't do that. He couldn't bring his mind even for a moment on the body so that he is cured. And he neglected that. Body will go. It has done its purpose. I will take thousands of births even to serve one person. That was Sri Ramakrishna saying. That is unselfishness. And there are some stories from the Purana that to give up. See, for example, you can take up any give up. So, how this pride to be given up? Hiranyakashipu was the example of great pride. To becoming powerful person, he became so proud that he wanted to replace God. There is no God. Except, not Allah, but myself. There is no God but Allah. That is there. That's another name of God. Allah is another name of God. But Hiranyakashipu said, there is no God except myself. So he made his temples, his statues, his worship, he started doing. Prahlada says, that is untrue, Father. You are not God. Give up that wrong idea that you are God. Give up your pride. He was so proud to replace God with himself that he could do anything. Even he tried to kill his young son, dear son. How much this pride can take you? How this is so dangerous, and becoming very angry when the pride holds on you, when the ego holds on you, you don't know what you do. And finally the anger comes and you are made mad with anger. He was angry with his son because his son became impediment on his desire to become like a god, to become so proud. And he tried to kill his son by various means. Finally getting very angry, he said, where is God? You say God is everywhere. He said, God is everywhere. Everywhere. Is this in the pillar also? He said, God is everywhere. He is in the pillar also. And then he strikes the pillar with the mace, and the pillar breaks, and really God comes and kills that pride. Pride has to be killed. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. Give up pride. Give up everything that makes you weak and miserable. If you don't give up, it will be taken away. And at last, after Hiranyakashipu lived his life, miserable life throughout, at the end his pride was cured by God himself. So that will be taken away. Mother said, give up. Very nice thing. Give up thinking of selfishness. Give up thinking about others' bad qualities. Beautiful giving up. Don't think bad qualities about others. Don't judge others. Don't blame others. Give up that idea that something that has become wrong to you is done by someone else. Give up that idea. That idea will make you miserable. Thinking about bad qualities, you yourself will become bad. So never think of others' weakness. Never think of others' bad qualities. It will hurt you more. You will really become bad by that. If you didn't have the badness, that evil will come into you. That's it. Give up that. Swami Kripamayananda was once had gone to give a talk, and he talked about religion, about spirituality from the audience, and said, Swamiji, we wanted to hear something about love from you, prema, supreme love from you, because Swami Kripamayananda was incarnation of love. He was so much full of love. Then Kripamayananda said, he ignored for some time, and many people requested, please speak something about the divine love. And he said, I will tell you a story. Then he said, one person was going with something on his head, and a hawker on the streets, he was ferrying and calling, who wants divine love? Who wants supreme love? So here is, I'm going to sell supreme love. So when people heard that supreme love for God, supreme that is being sold, many came to buy love from him. Then they asked him, what is the price of love? Then he brought out one knife, and he said, price of love is more. The price of love is your head. Those who want supreme love has to give his or her head. And as much his head weighs, so much of supreme love he will get. Are you ready to give your head to buy the supreme love? The head is the place of ego. If we can completely give up our ego, our self-centeredness, our thinking that this is I and mine, I am the doer, that I thing goes, then comes supreme love for God. That needs to be given up. Sri Krishna said that give up everything for the love of God. Sarva dharman parityajya. Completely surrender yourself. When we completely surrender yourself, God will take your care. Swami Atmanandaji was Swami Vivekananda's disciple. He had so much completely surrendered to Swamiji and so much faith in Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda had already passed away. And he was very sick. Swami Atmananda was sick at Benares. And he couldn't turn aside, so much sick he was. And suddenly the brahmacharis who were serving him thought, oh, this Swamiji was so strong, now he's so weak, unless we give him medicine he cannot take, unless we make him sit, he cannot sit. You see how it happens? He's totally dependent on us. As soon as the brahmacharis thought that, were serving him thought that, Swami Atmananda said, do you think I am dependent on you? It is Swami Vivekananda takes my care. He is my guru. Always he is with me. This moment, if you don't believe, this moment you take me with the cot, with the bed and put me on the road. He will be there to take my care. Who takes care? That complete surrender to Guru, complete surrender to God, complete faith in God. That surrender is needed. That's why Sri Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam praja. Take refuge in me. Then what will happen about my duties? Will I incur some sin by neglecting other things? Sri Krishna says, Aham tva sarva papebhyo moksheshyami. Whatever will be lacking in performance of duty, if you incur any sin, you will be freed from all sins that is accumulated in your life, or that you will think that you are doing something wrong. Nothing duty remains. But Sri Ramakrishna said one thing nicely here. When you have to give up like this, completely to surrender to God, don't fool yourself. When the wound is drying up, don't take away the mamri, the upper portion, the crust. Fresh blood will ooze. Let it heal by itself. Then the crust will fall by itself. So that is how it is. Our love for God, if we grow through japa, meditation, prayer, through well-feeling towards others, through service towards others, if we grow in spirituality, all our actions will be dropped away. All our fears will be gone. And we'll have complete surrender to the will of God. They say that giving up the man what he wants, Vitteshana, Lokeshana and Putreshana. These three are the great desires of man. Basic desires. Putreshana, the desire for progeny. He wants his species to continue. That's a great Ishana. That needs to be given up, that's it. Don't think that you are continuing in progeny. Consider yourself as not belonging to a particular family, but as a human being. As a human being, there is a lot of species coming out. Don't make yourself responsible for continuing your family. Your family is the family of humanity. Then you don't have that desire. Putreshana. Then comes Vitteshana. Desire for wealth, accumulation, the greed, more richer I want to become. What for? They don't know. Why you want to have $1 million? They don't know. Just they want to have bank balance. I want to be called a millionaire. Now they don't say millionaire, they say billionaire. I want to be called billionaire. What does it make difference to your life? Whether you are called billionaire or trillionaire. Doesn't make any difference. You need money to live a decent life. You need a car, you need a house, you need to eat, you need to sleep. That much you need. But this greed for wealth is something very deep into human psyche. Because of ignorance, because of the play of Maya. That greed for wealth should be given a Vitteshana, very intrinsic desire. And the third desire is Lokeshana. Even becoming wealthy, becoming surrounded by children and grandchildren doesn't make us satisfied. What we want? Lokeshana. Loka means surrounded by people. There should be many people who should be praising us. My name should be in the newspaper, in the front page. It should flash in the television. Then only people feel they will be happy. But that has to be given up. If you want to be really happy, give up all these three desires. There is a fourth desire also, that most of us are for us to conquer. The Lomaishana, it's called the desire for hair. This symbolic desire for the physical body. I want to look good, I want to be the smartest, best, most wanted person in this world. So trying to be yourself unique in the personality, in the group, that itself is a desire which makes us unhappy finally. Give up that desire to be unique in the group. Try to be one of the people. One person didn't believe in God, but he went to that big gathering of the people called Kumbh Mela. One person asked, you are not believer in religious rituals and believer in God. Why have you come to this place where there are millions and millions of people have gathered to just have a dip to gain the merit of Kumbh Mela? He said, you see, I have come here and enjoyed so much, and seeing this sea of human beings here, I feel I am one of them. To feel myself one of human beings itself is so invigorating, it's inspiring. That feeling is itself a spiritual feeling. Whether he wants to earn merit by dipping in water, doesn't matter at all. To feel myself one among many, one of the human beings, that is spirituality. We need to keep that. Sri Ramakrishna also, one day he wanted to give. So he came, he brings flowers in the plate and prays to Mother. He says, Mother, with this he offers his flower, and with flower he offers the things, gives up the things. This is good, I give it to you. This is evil, I give it to you. I don't want anything, good and evil. This is virtue, this is vice, I give it to you. So by that way, all the opposites, good and bad, virtue and vice, everything he was giving. But at the end, he couldn't give up one thing. What did he give up? He couldn't give up truth. So something are there which we cannot give up. He didn't say, he himself said, I couldn't give, this is falsehood and this is truth. I give you both. No, he couldn't say that. Falsehood he would certainly give up. He was never false in anything. He was always truthful. Whatever he spoke, whatever he thought, he did that. And whatever he did, that he spoke. So open, so truthful. But he says that I gave up everything to Mother, but I couldn't give up truthfulness. So that needs to be not given up. So what to be given up? Selfishness, egotism, pride. Separating ourselves from others, keeping ourselves at the high pedestal mentally. Maybe physically we show, no, I am equal to you. Not showing humility, real humility. that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. He said that, how should we live? Trinadapi should be humble like a blade of grass. So humble that people walk over it, it doesn't make any protest. So walking it, we don't have to put that where anybody comes and slaps on our face. Not that. What it means by that is, be not an obstacle on the path of others. Right? Give comfort. How cushioned the grass becomes. Give comfort. Help others to move as far as they can towards good. And in that way, you become really humble. That I am not greater than any other person. I am equal to others. If whatever I can help others in their movement towards goodness, I will help that. I will not become obstacle. They forward, go forward. That was the thing. Trinadapi Sunichena. But don't become like a grass that anybody comes and plucks you from your ideas and thoughts. Whatever you have taken in life as your ideal, don't give up that. So here he says, Tarorapi Sahishuna. Be enduring, be durable, be strong, be firm like a tree. Even the big winds should not be able to uproot you. Trinadapi Sanichena Tarorapi Sahishuna. Amanina Manadena. Don't seek honor. Don't seek public praise. Don't seek the popularity of the people. We often seek popularity. We want to do everything to everyone. Oh, people should know that I am here. Don't show that. That won't give you happiness. So, amanina. Don't seek any praise for yourself. So, what about praising others? Manadena. Of course you should praise others. For if anything small done by others, give appreciation to others in a very spiritual quality. Don't seek any praise for yourself, but appreciate even the smallest goodness of others. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. And then always sing the glories of God. That is, always get connected with God. Always be aware of the presence of divine in the hearts of every living being. And also in your own self. This will make you happy, and whatever, when we know there was winnowing, the rice used to be, the paddy used to be crushed, and the husk used to be there, then shaft, the external shell used to be husked away and given up, thrown away, but kernel used to be kept. That's how we keep our happiness, permanent happiness with us, and whatever will make us unhappy will be given up. And then we become too self-centered? No. When we are really happy and seek the permanent happiness with these teachings of the scriptures and the prophets, then we will give happiness to others. And we really cannot be happy if we don't try to make others happy. We cannot be, the Holy Mother, that's why she said, the purpose of life is to give joy to others. When we try to give joy to others, then only can we become really joyful. That is very important. So, serving others and trying to give joy to others. That, if we try, rest will just fall away, like the wounds crust falling away in time. But we don't have to give up that. All unessential, unhappy things will be given up, and we'll be living a happy and joyful life, radiating that joy everywhere. And for that, Kirtaniya Sadahari. We should be always connected with the Divine through His name, through His awareness, through His thought, through His thoughts. So we need to bring God in everything what we do in our life, in everything that we think in our life, in everything that we serve in our life. That finally comes that it is Sarvatah Panipadam Tat Sarvato Shishiromukam Sarvatah Shrutimal Loke Sarvamavritatistati. Every feet are His feet, every head are His head. So then you see God everywhere, serve Him everywhere, then all shaft is given up. All then finally that, as Sri Ramakrishna said, the jaggery solution, the syrup of good, that is given up, and you get the candy syrup. Real spirituality fills in, and non-essential, unhealthy, unhappy things are given up when we seek move towards the happiness, towards the joy, towards God. Move towards the east, and the west will fall back. So God, let us bring God in our life. Then the non-essential will be all given up. Give up selfishness, cultivate unselfishness.